Are you a wide player or a striker that wants to add more goals to your game? Well, this is the video for you. Today we're going to be looking at how you can score more goals from wide areas inside the box. Let's go. We split the final third into 6 different sections. Now here, we're in zone 2 because we're inside the box, so we're zone 2 because we're wide. All right, now these principles will apply to you even if you're a lefty and you're on the right-hand side of the box. I'm just demonstrating on the left-hand side of the box because I'm a right footer. Now, there's a couple of key finishes we're going to look at here. The first is when we're in this scenario, 1v1 in a wide area, and we're looking to get a shot off. Now, so often, players in this scenario try and get a shift and hit, but their shot gets blocked. Now, we're going to talk about how you can stop that happening, all right? Another technique we're going to talk about is a first-time finish where you've broken the line with a run and you're just trying to guide it into that corner. Let's talk about how you guys can actually put this into practice and use it in your own games. So, to start with, I want you to imagine you're 1v1 with a defender. Now, so often in this scenario, players try and get a little shift inside to hit. Now, the problem with that is if your shift comes square, it's so easy for the defender to stick a leg out and get a block in because that distance from the ball to their leg is so small. However, the key trick that so many pros use but isn't coached anywhere is can you get that shift on a backwards angle? Because now the difference between there and where the ball was before, that's impossible for me as a defender to cover in the space of a couple of seconds. So the first thing is, can we get that shift on a backwards angle? Once we've got that right, we then need to focus on the finish. So the shift goes in here. A lot of people try to avoid turning their hips because they don't trust themselves to wrap it into that far corner. Now I'm going to ask you guys, can you be brave? Turn your hips to face where the ball's rolling to. So as we get in here and we get that shift, can you rotate your hips to face the direction of the ball? And then as you step on, you want to leave a little bit of space between your standing foot and the ball so that you can allow your hips to rotate through. And then you should finish your follow through pointing just inside the post. The third and final point of this finish is that you need to be in control, okay? So if you're driving at speed, it's very hard to get this shift, whether you want to use a soft chop or just cut it, it's very hard to get that right if you're moving at 100 miles an hour. So in my opinion, when we're in this scenario and we're facing up the defender, you want to try and slow them down. Slow their feet, because if they're then planted, it's harder for them to push off again. All right, so if we're in here, we drive, we slow him down, little backwards angle, turn the hips, and then wrap into that far post. All right, I'll give you a couple more examples. We're in here, we slow the defender down, little jabs, bang, backwards angle, hips turn, wrap into that far post. 2 out of 2, not bad. Good, so we're in here, jab, slowing the defender down, backwards angle shift, hips turn, and you get that nice wrap into the corner. Really important you make sure your follow through ends up inside the post, but not towards the middle of the goal. Now, we mentioned before that this wouldn't work if you're moving at speed, so I'm going to give you an option and an alternative for if you're on a fast counter-attack, you're breaking away and the defender's coming with you, but you still want to get that backwards angle to be able to wrap into the corner. So, imagine we're moving at speed. Come with me, bros. Imagine we're moving at speed in here and the defender's recovering on your right shoulder. All right, now instead of chopping back inside, because if you're a defender and you're recovering this way, I'm just going into your momentum. All right, so you almost want to, as you drive in, just come with me as if you're a defender, Brody. As we drive in, you almost want to slow down half a second so that he gets in line. And then as the defender comes in line, you're looking for that Ronaldo chop. But again, the key thing is you want to get that backwards angle. All right, so if you've got a recovering defender sprinting across to try and block your shot, that little Ronaldo chop on that backwards angle is a good option for you to be able to wrap it into the far post. So we drive at speed, little chop, and then that wrap finish into the far corner. Perfect. All right, so option number 2/3 if you count the little Ronaldo chop as an extra option. This one's something that you can create and a chance that you can create with your movement. All right, so it's really important that you get your timing right here and that you get your steps right. So this one's something that Thierry Henry was great at. All right, we're looking at timing our run off the shoulder of the defender for a slide pass in behind, and then you're just looking at guiding it into that far corner. All right, so the key things here are, yes, Brody. Thank you. As we make our run, you want to do your work early, all right? So you want to get yourself around the ball. Yes, come with me, bros. If you can get behind me. So rather than running straight at the ball from here, can you get yourself around the ball so that, as we spoke about with that wrap in that other video, Zone 2A, go and check it out now if you've not yet. You get your hips facing the side of the pitch so that that wrap becomes nice and easy and you end up with your follow through pointing just inside the post. All right, so that's the key that we're looking for. As that slide pass comes in, can you time your run, get your work done early, so you're around the ball and then you're just looking to pass it into that corner. All right, you don't need much power on this finish. The bend that takes it away from the keeper should do the work for you. So we want to do our work early, we make the run, as the pass comes in, we get around it, hips face the side, and that wrap becomes really easy. Yeah, I'll show you one more just as a demo. So yes, bros, play that pass for me. We time our run. Yes, play. Time our run, get around the ball, do our work early. Just that pass into the corner. All right. For me, I think if you can lift it slightly, you're almost finding the gap in between the keeper's arm and leg. All right, so we're just looking for that slight lift with a load of bend on it right into the corner. Thanks for watching, guys. If you did enjoy the video, please leave us a like and do subscribe for more information on how you can score more goals and take your game to the next level. If you've got any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below and I'll get back to you on how you can improve your game.